Hi all, Mary Bulger here, naturalist with Iowa County Conservation, and I want to welcome you to our homemade gifting virtual series. And today I'm going to walk you through how to make some homemade Play-Doh. Your kids may already have this and maybe you've bought the homemade Play-Doh, but it's something really easy that you can make, and you could make it, parents could make it, give it to their children for Christmas, or you can make this a family activity and you can make it for some kids, cousins, friends, and give that away for a fun activity to do together and that they'll love to play with for a long time to come. So what I'm going to do is work on the, go through the ingredients here, and then I'm going to kind of go step by step with you on how to make it. Really simple. So this homemade Play-Doh is made from 6 simple ingredients, and you probably already have them right in your kitchen here, and then just a few little kitchen tools, okay? So what you're gonna need for the recipe, and I will put this recipe again in the comments, so you don't have to worry about writing it down right now. You're going to need a cup of all-purpose flour, okay? You're going to need 1/3 cup of salt, table salt. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, or any sort of liquid oil will work too. You're going to need a cup of water. And then you're going to need 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. And then you can leave it like that and mix it together, or you can also add food coloring. So if you have food coloring, the set of 4 food colorings, and you can make whatever color you want. We're going to make yellow today. So those are the ingredients you'll need. You'll also need a stovetop. You're going to need a small saucepan, and you're going to need a wooden spoon. Works really well for stirring all your ingredients together. This is a really easy one in that you just dump all your ingredients into the pot and heat them and then stir them together. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my stove top here just to get it warming up just slightly. I also sometimes use a rubber spatula to really scrape out that pan. And then you're going to need some sort of plate to let your Play-Doh cool, because it will get a little bit warm and it does need to kind of cool down before it can be handled. So really simple and easy to make, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our activities. And again, this is a great one, recipe or activity that you can do as a family. If you have real little ones, you want to be careful, of course, around the stove. But if you have older kids, again, a great opportunity to teach your children about cooking, so how to measure things out, and safety tips and different things like that when you're cooking. So, so we're going to go ahead and add our ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my cup of water into the saucepan, and then I'm going to add my cup of flour and my 1/3 cup of salt. And again, you're just dumping this all right into the pan. I have those things kind of pre-measured out, and then I'm just going to take 2 teaspoons of the cream of tartar right in there, and then my 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil here. And then I'm going to be making a colored Play-Doh, but again, you can keep this just, if you don't have food coloring, you could use different spices like turmeric or cinnamon that could give it different color. Onion skins also give some color to different colors, but I'm going to use food coloring here today. Blueberries are also another good one. So I'm going to put about 15 drops of my food coloring in here, and then I'm going to start to mix it up. Now, if you want a color that's just a little bit not as bright, then you can do 10 drops. If you want a little bit of more dark color, more solid color, then you can put more. I'm going to give this a little bit of a mix. and then I'll show you what it looks like when you're getting it mixing. Now, as you're mixing here, it's going to be a little bit thick. There's more solid ingredients here to the liquid ingredients, and so as your saucepan starts to heat up, you're going to start to notice that it's going to stick a little bit to the side, and that's why when I do this, I make sure that you're stirring this, because if you heat it too much, it might get a little bit overdone. Now you'll notice it will start to get a little bit more solid as it's heating, and what's happening with those solid ingredients, the flour, the salts, they're kind of mixing together, the cream of tartar, and the food coloring, they're all kind of mixing together, and they are, let me hold up my spoon and I'll show you. So just a little bit it's a little bit soft yet, but very solid. And you'll know that your Play-Doh is done when it starts to kind of form a ball. If you've ever made dough before for pie or bread, and you're mixing it up, it starts to form a dough ball, and it's almost there. And it's going to start to be slightly darker, and now I'm not able to really mix it around in my pot. And I'm just going to do it just a little bit longer to make sure it's nice and cooked. And that's how I know it's done. So I'm going to turn my heat off. Again, it doesn't take very long to cook these things together. I'm going to put my dough ball here on my plate to cool. And again, if you're working with little ones, you want to be careful during this step. So right now it is a little bit warm, but it is, you can see that formed that dough ball. You can touch it, but I'd let it cool, especially if you're working with little ones there. And then I say let it cool until it is safe for everyone to touch, and then you will end up with a ball like this of Play-Doh. I made an example of some green a little bit earlier, and I would say this is about the size of a softball. So just with those simple ingredients, you made a fun toy. Now, if you're going to put this together and give it as a gift, a really fun and inexpensive thing to do is to make a kit. So what you could do is, in a plastic bag or a jar, you could put all the dry ingredients together. So the flour, the salt, the cream of tartar, and then write out a few instructions to add a cup of water, and also to add a tablespoon of oil, or you could give them those things as well. You could also make these and give these away to people. And if you're going to make some sort of kit, you can also give a few other things that they can then not only work with their hands with this kit, but they can also build with them. So if you have little cookie cutters around the house, or you can find some inexpensive ones, those are great things to go with it. But again, you can use things that are just around the house. So if you have tiny little cups like this, you can use it as a cookie cutter. You can use it to fill and make shapes here. You can also use craft sticks. They're great to use as little cutting tools to build onto as well. And if you have these cute little pie tins or muffin cups, those work really well too. And then I just have another different kind of cup. So you don't have to give away cookie cutters if you don't have them or you can't find them, but they're really great and fun things to do. You can use things that you have just around the house, okay? So that is our simple and easy homemade Play-Doh that you can make with the family and give away as gifts. So if you are interested in learning about more of these homemade gifts, we did one previously this week where we made suet. Be sure to check out our YouTube page or our Facebook page. We have both the recordings on both of those pages. Just search for Iowa County Conservation on either of those. We will have 2 more next week, so you can join us live both Tuesday and Thursday at noon. If you have questions or you want to interact with us while we're making our other homemade craft gifts, we're going to be making some cinnamon ornaments, really fun and simple and smell really great, kind of a holiday decoration. And then also we're going to be making a milkweed pod craft next week. So if you have any questions about this homemade Play-Doh, go ahead and write those in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them if they come in a little bit later. And I will put that recipe in the comments in just a little bit. I want to thank you very much for watching today. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.